is all about triangles. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to find the missing angle measure of a triangle, and you'll also be able to classify triangles by properties and attributes. So first, let's talk about some of the pieces that make up a triangle. Please make sure you have these definitions in your notes. First, we have a line segment, and that's part of a line containing two endpoints and all the points in between them. The triangle is formed by three line segments that intersect only at their endpoints. Then the vertex of a triangle is the point where the segments of the triangle intersect, and a triangle has three vertices. Angles of a triangle, this is another important piece of information you need to know about triangles, but the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle add up to 180, no matter what the triangle looks like. So for example, in this picture, we have three angle measures, x, y, and z, and if you add them up, you'll get 180 degrees. So we're going to look at some examples where we're missing one of the angle measures, but we'll be able to figure it out. So for example 1, please draw the triangle into your notes, labeling the angles and vertices correctly. We have triangle PQR, and I'm asking you to find the value of x, or find the angle measure x. You are given angle R and angle Q. And since we just talked in the previous slide that the sum of the measures of the angles add up to 180, we can add them all together. 89 plus 54 plus x should equal 180. So how do we solve for x? We need to combine the two like terms, add the two numbers together. That's 143 plus x equals 180. And then we subtract 143 from both sides. And we get that x equals 37 degrees. And remember that angles do have a unit, a degree measure. So you can put the little circle that indicates degree. Here's another example, and this picture is labeled a little bit differently, but I'm asking you to find the value of the measure of angle E. That's how that's read. This is read measure of angle E. So again, the sum of the angle measures in a triangle are 180 degrees. So we have 39 plus 62 plus angle E should equal 180. And I'm actually going to put the little m in there. Measure of angle E. So when we add these two together, we get 101 plus the measure of angle E, and it should equal 180. So we subtract 101 from both sides, and we get that the measure of angle E is equal to 79 degrees. And you could always check your work with these. You take 79 plus 62 plus 39, and you should get 180. Now let's look at an example where we're actually not given any of the angle measures, but we're told what their ratios are. So we want to know, we have a triangle ABC, and the ratio of the angle measures are 1 to 3 to 8. So for every 1 degree of the first angle, the second angle is 3 degrees more, and then the third angle is 8 degrees. So we want to know what are the measures of the angles. And here we're going to set up an equation. So the equation we're going to set up is that for every 1 degree for the first angle, it's 3 degrees for the second, and 8 degrees for the third. And you can kind of think of it as parts. So for every 1 part of the angle measure of the first angle, it's 3 parts to 8 parts. And we're going to use x to represent part. But if we add those all up, we should get 180 degrees, because again, the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle are 180. So we need to combine our like terms and solve for x. So 1 plus 3x is 4x, plus 8 more x, so we have 12x equals 180. If we divide both sides by 12, we get that x equals 15. But we're asked for the measures of the angles of the triangle. So we know that one angle is 1x. Well, that's just 1 times 15. So one angle measure is 15 degrees. The next angle measure was 3x, or 3 times 15. That's 45 degrees. The final angle measure was 8x, or 8 times 15. And you could do this a couple of different ways. You could take 180, subtract 45 and subtract 15, or take 15 times 8. And you get 120 degrees. And I forgot my degree mark up here. But that's how you find the measures of 3 angles of the triangle if you know the ratio of the angles to one another. Just make sure you understand how this problem works because you'll have to repeat it in your homework. Finally, we want to talk about classifying triangles. And there are different ways to classify triangles. The first way is to classify it based on the types of angles, and you do need to have all of this in your notes. Hopefully this is a review for most of you, but there are 4 types of angles. An acute angle, which measures less than 90 degrees, a right angle, which measures exactly 90 degrees, an obtuse angle that measures between 90 and 180 degrees, and a straight angle that measures 100 degrees. We also can classify triangles by angles. So when we're classifying triangles by their angles, if they're all acute angles, which means they're all less than 90 degrees, then we have what's called an acute triangle. If any one of the angles of a triangle is obtuse or greater than 90 degrees, obtuse triangle. If you have a triangle that has one right angle, it is a right triangle. So we can classify triangles based on angles. Finally, we can also classify angles based on their side lengths. A scalene triangle will have no congruent sides or no sides of the same length. An isosceles triangle has at least 2 congruent sides. An equilateral triangle has all sides congruent. So I'm asking if you can find the missing angle measure of a triangle, and can you classify triangles by their properties and attributes? So you want to make sure that you understand, given a triangle, you can tell me what type of triangle it is based on its angle and what type of triangle it is based on its side.